guys, it's Emma and I'm back today for you with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about the book series that I'm giving up on. I've been seeing this going around on booktube and I would like to take a little part in it. I think a while ago, a couple years ago actually, I made a video talking about the book series that I like but that just can't behave. So if you'd like to go check that out, view at your own risk. But these are going to be all of this book series that I have read more recently that I'm just not going to continue. Some of them I've only read one book in, which I don't know. If I don't really like your first book, 9 times out of 10 I'm not gonna try and force myself to read the second one, because then what am I doing leaving a bad review on the second one when I knew that I wasn't gonna like it in the first place? So I've been having burnout, not only with series but just with books in general, so I've got to be really careful about series. This list will probably be expanded upon in the future, so look out for that. So let's get right into it without any further ado. The first series that I'm not going to be finishing is The Chronicles of the Bitch Queen by K.S. Villoso. I read the first book, The Wolf of Oren-Yaro. Oh wow, I completely forgot about it. But I think I gave it 2 stars. I was just not a fan of our main character. We were supposed to believe that she was a badass bitch queen, which was pretty much the whole reason why I bought it, because the series name is literally Chronicles of the Bitch Queen. Are you kidding me? So I was going in thinking, oh my gosh, okay, she's gonna be a badass queen. She was not. She was actually a pretty bad queen. Pretty much every decision that she made was stupid. And I was like, girl, you've been trained for the throne for your entire life and this is how you handle it? She also had shit taste in men, okay? Because this girl, the father of her kid, literally left her because he thought that the kid wasn't his. And he was like, yeah, if I find out that the kid isn't mine, I'm gonna kill him. And meanwhile, she's just dumbfounded. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill him. He's betrayed me so many times, because he does. He literally betrays her so many times, almost gets her ass killed so many times, literally makes her go on this whole quest, which was very tedious, by the way. We literally went from place A to place B, back to place A to place C to place D, back to place B, and so on and so forth. And she's about to kill him, and then she's like, but wait, I love him. He's my husband. This deadbeat literally just threatened the life of your child. Slit his throat, bitch. It's not that difficult. I'll do it. I'll do it right now. Okay, so no, she pissed me off. The pacing of the story was just jarring, in my opinion. I really couldn't get into it. It was just a lot. It was a lot. I wasn't a fan of it. I did like the premise, but in my opinion, the execution of it just really missed the mark. Then I have the Changeling series by Nalini Singh. I've actually read 3 books in this series. I read the first 2 and then I DNF'd the 3rd one. The first 2 I liked pretty decently. I think I gave the first one 4 stars. I may have given the second one 4 stars too, but then the third one I also think I gave 2 stars. I either gave it 2 or 3, I cannot really remember. It's this world where shapeshifters are a thing, and they're kind of at odds with this other species called the Sai, who are just like incredibly intelligent. They're basically walking computers, but they don't like have emotions. And so basically each book is about a Sai and a changeling falling in love. I liked the first 2 books, like I said, pretty decently. The second one is my favorite, quite honestly. But the third one, I just got a little sick of it, because I was like, are we really doing a murder mystery every single one? Like, for every single book, is a subplot gonna be the murder mystery? Because if it is, I'm not a fan of murder mysteries, if I'm gonna be honest. I read this book for the romance. And to have the subplot for every single book be something that I'm just not a fan of, what's the point? So I DNF'd the third one, which I think was caressed by ice. So yeah, I will not continue with it because it's just a thing of I don't want to risk it being the same subplot, everything. And why would I do that to myself? Okay. This next one I have a little bit more animosity towards, and that's the Ice Planet Barbarians series by Ruby Dixon. This is basically a series about a bunch of human women getting alien mates. Big blue alien mates, all right? It's a Jake Sully insert fanfic, okay? I liked the first one. I gave it 4 stars, and then I read the second one, and damn, what, it bombed? All right, I gave the second one 1 star. I hate that book. That is one of the few books that I've ever read in my life that I can genuinely say with my entire heart, my wishbone, and my lungs, and possibly my appendix, that I hate. I hate the second book of that series so much because it is disgusting. The first book actually made the mate bond trope tasteful to a degree, and then for whatever reason, we went into the second one with a rape kidnapping plotline. And I just want to know why we thought that was suitable, why we thought that I would ever in my right mind root for Rahash. The mate bond in the second one, Barbarian Alien, in my opinion, introduced the whole idea of, no, it's okay, your body wants me, your mind will catch up to it later, because it's all primal instinct. Get the hell out of here and out of my face. Gag, honeycomb, get a grip. The next series, on a lighter note, is Servamp by Strike Tanaka. I read the first 2 volumes. I will not be continuing to read it. It's basically our world, and there's like vampires, monsters. I cannot really remember which one. We'll just go with monsters that prey on humans, mostly vampires. And the good vampires are actually playoffs of the 7 deadly sins. So we meet Sloth as he teams up with someone whose friend has basically been attacked by a vampire. And they have to, you know, try and defeat the vampires. And I thought the first book was really good. The first book was so much fun. I loved the animation style. It was dark, but at the same time very whimsical. I really liked it. And then the second book came along, and I think I just got bored. This was when I was trying to read as much manga as I could, and I think that might have been a factor in it. Just burnout, which completely my fault. But I remember it getting a little convoluted at some points. I think I just kind of wrote it out until the end of the second volume because I was like, okay, you know what? This just isn't for me anymore. The next one that we have, and this one is one that actually kind of makes me sad, and that's The Boys by Garth Ennis. This is about a team sponsored by the FBI. I should say sponsored by the FBI to basically keep tabs on superheroes. And it kind of plays on the idea of, yeah, superheroes do great stuff, but not every superhero is an amazing person. Like, sometimes you have superheroes that are absolutely egotistical and narcissistic maniacs. Okay, so it really plays on a dark superhero type of thing. Kind of like Watchmen. I have read volumes 1 through 7 and I liked them well enough. It's just as I got further and further in, it got more and more convoluted. And it was to the point where, kind of like Servamp, I was sitting there being like, okay, what? What? Say that again? What? Okay, you know what, no, at this point I'm just gonna keep going on and hopefully you'll say something that I understand. That I can be like, I got that reference. Unfortunately, it just got to the point where I was like, you know what? No more. I think what I'll do instead is I'll just watch The Boys, especially because it has Jack Quaid in it and Carl Urban, and also now Jensen Ackles. The Dean girl in me is fluttering at the idea, okay? The next series that I will not be finishing is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. This is about a girl named Celine who flees Paris to New Orleans, or Louisiana, and she finds out that vampires, werewolves, supernatural creatures are all in fact real. The very first book was The Beautiful, and then the second book that I read was The Damned. I loved The Beautiful. I thought it was great. All right, it was gothic, it was dark. Celine got on my nerves, but I was like, you know what? I'm willing to overlook this because it's so good. I think I gave The Beautiful 3 stars. I loved it. It was great. It reminded me in a sense of True Blood, which I used to love True Blood until the catastrophe that was the 4th season happened. I liked the first book, and then it ended with a trope that I have no business trying to like anymore, because I just know that I don't. I'm not gonna say what trope it is because it kind of spoils the ending of the book. But just know that there is a trope that I have vehemently hated in the past that I was like, what could it hurt to try it this time? Everything, baby doll. Everything. It could hurt everything. And it did. It did. I pre-ordered the second one because I was so excited for it, which was The Damned. And I ended up hating that book. It's 1 star on Goodreads for me right now. Everything in The Beautiful that I loved, the gothicness, was destroyed, in my opinion, and put more for a more fantastical aura. The menial world building that in my opinion worked for The Beautiful was expanded upon a lot in The Damned, and I understand why the author tried to do it, but at the same time, by expanding it so much, so quickly, it was ruined. And it just seemed like way too big of a bite for her to chew. The tropes still ran rampant in this book that I hated at the very end of the Beautiful. So I will not read, what's the 3rd book? When I saw the cover for the 3rd book, I was rolling. Because I'm sorry, how are you gonna go from a chalice full of roses and a skull full of flowers to a dress? So no. The last series that I want to talk about has a book that I literally finished a couple days ago, and that is the Deathless series by Namina Forna. This is about a world where all of the girls are very, very oppressed, and they all have to go through this basically purity ceremony to make sure that they bleed red blood and not gold. If they bleed gold blood, that means that they are a demon and therefore are outcast into the wild. The main character that we follow, her name is Dika, and she bleeds gold. And she is taken from her village to basically train as a soldier in the Emperor's new experiment type of thing, where it's an all-female army and it's made up of these girls that bleed gold. And they've got superhuman strength, speed, healing abilities. It's amazing. I liked the first book enough. I gave it 3 stars. I don't think it's a horrible book. I want to put that out there right now, but it's definitely not something that's going to push me to read the second one. I loved the first half of the book. The first half was so intriguing for me to read. All right, the writing style is very easy to read. It's very easy to get through. It's very quick to get through. There's not a lot of world building, unfortunately, and the world has so much potential to be so intriguing. All right, but the world building itself was not done very well, in my opinion. Everything except the places and locations where we were was so minutely detailed, but the places themselves were detailed maybe at like the bare bones, so it was very hard for me to like visualize where we were. Also, the messaging in here was very on the nose. One character would make a statement and then the other one would be like, yes, thoughtful message right here, and it's like there was no reading in between the lines, and in my opinion that kind of dumbs down your story a little bit. So while I think that this book was a pretty decent start to a series, I'm not gonna continue it, just plainly because if the second book continues with the stuff in here, I know I'm just not gonna be a fan of it. I would say honestly this could stand as a standalone, but if you do read it with that mindset, please do be aware that this is a book with a sequel, okay? So if it does seem a little fast wrapping up towards the end, that is why. So you guys, those are all of the series that I will not be completing. Like I said in the beginning of the video, these may be expanded upon in the future, probably. And yeah, I just didn't like these series because I either got bored, something happened to where I just felt a certain type of way and really couldn't get my ass over it. But I do not want to sit here and be like, don't read these books, because who the hell am I to tell you what and what not to read? But yeah, just take these with a grain of salt and be like, okay, be warned, basically. Okay, you guys, so with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope you will continue to look out for the stuff that I put out on my channel. I hope that you guys are staying safe and that you guys have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.